It's time to get lost in the mid-card. This Believe in Pro Wrestling property is brought to you by Bet Online, the continued #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Join now and receive your 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code BELIEVE. Now, here are Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black on the Believe Podcast Network.
You're muted, you son of a bitch.
I thought I clicked both. Welcome.
I unmuted myself when I saw you.
Well, that's what confused me. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to click things. And
Well, no, I didn't touch anything until you started talking and you were still muted, so I unmuted myself to tell you you were muted.
Let's start over. Welcome to the podcast where, much like Seth Rollins, I hate football. It's Lost in the NFL mid-card.
Wait, no Vince McMahon pod shot? Come on, pal.
We got enough of that in the lead. What's up, Steven?
What up, buddies? How y'all doing today?
Another quiet week in wrestling. Well, there was no pay-per-views to talk about, so that's a first in like a month, it seems like. The Bengals, yes, they are back, and Mark Cho is live. And yes, I this stupid shit. Anyways, thank you for joining. Lost the mid-card halfway through October already. Jesus, how'd that happen?
Time's just flying by, man.
Nothing on the PLE front until Crown Jewel, but we're already getting some stuff shaped up for that after SmackDown.
Bound for Glory's later this month. Let's not.
Oh, I haven't watched Impact
Bound for Glory in Chicago because I
haven't watched Impact in a while. How's that going? What's the main event? What's the main event we getting?
It is Josh Alexander and Alex Shelley for the Impact World Championship.
Title change probably.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, unless they do like a heel turn for Shelley to retain.
Or a heel turn for Josh to win.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that could happen too. But I just know for a fact that Shelley plays a very good heel character on the independent scene where he's a babyface in Impact. So.
Oh, that's this Saturday?
Not to count it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I haven't watched. You
also got Trinity. You got Trinity and Mickie James too. And it's in Chicago, so you can't roll out that certain straight edge guy who's not wanted anywhere else that might show up. Hey, it could happen.
Man, it's in Chicago. Oh man. Come on.
It's sold out already. Venue's already sold out. People are ready.
People are thinking.
People are pumped for their Impact, brother.
They're gonna chant CM Punk all night.
I think WWE is in more danger of that in Survivor Series than Impact is at Bound for Glory. But
so have you been keeping up on it on Impact?
Yeah, I watch Impact every week, man.
We'll talk about it here after the lead. We'll go down the card real quick. Yes, football. I hate it, but anyways, maybe the Bears keep sucking, they're going to get the top 2 picks in the draft.
Hey, I won my fantasy league again this week. I am very happy with football. So the only thing that would have been better, I benched Henry again and started Calvin Ridley, which was a gigantic mistake.
Yeah,
but
I started Ridley.
I still ended up winning. I would have crushed my opponent had I started Henry. So
I started Ridley in my league, I
thought he was going to run all over the Colts instead of Christian Kirk instead. Throw the damn ball to Ridley, Lawrence, you dumbass.
I know, he's so up and down, Ridley is, but like
Lawrence is so up and down too, and that's part of the problem.
Telling me I'm going to be owing 2 cases of beer in my big money league because, again, I scored the least amount of points, so obviously I'm lost to both the person I'm facing and the league average. So I'm going 0-2. So now I'm like 1-11 with 3 running backs on IR or out for the season, and it's just a shit show of a year.
I've got A-Chain and James Conner sitting on my bench on injured reserve. I refuse to cut them because I know I'm going to need them later.
Well,
and if I cut them, someone else is gonna go out and pick them up.
Achan's only gonna miss the minimum.
Okay,
4 weeks.
That's good. But look,
who's the other guy?
James Conner.
Oh, Connor might be 6 weeks, but I mean they're both going to be back. So
I have them. I got rid of Anthony Richardson, and I went out and picked up Love because somebody dropped him on his bye week, and I'm just like, well, I'm taking him then. So
I picked up the leagues I had
statistic wise this year. So I think Love. I'm actually starting Love this week because Stroud's on a bye.
Yeah, the leagues I have Richardson in, I picked up Stroud, which kind of kept me afloat because I'm 5-1.
I think he's going to be a good. I think he's going to be a good pickup for you this season.
Well, like my league, I had Richardson, so now I got Stroud. And I'm 5-1. Another league, I had Deshaun Watson, and I dropped him for Stroud, and I'm 5-1 in that league too. But yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to do quarterback hunt on Tuesday when it's free agency day. But yeah, tonight in my league, Ridley
is Love available in your league?
Yeah, I'll have to look.
If Love's available in your league, pick him up.
I'm going for Ritter actually because Ritter finally that pass offense is starting to take off.
I don't trust Atlanta as far as I can throw them. Love's numbers have been much more consistent.
But with Ridley sucking though, a couple of guys picked up the slack in my running backs, Kamara and Kyron Williams. So I'm down 1 point, and I've got CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas kicker tonight. So I think I'll be all right there.
Love out of the first 5 weeks, he only had one bad game, and that was week 5 against the Raiders. His other 4 games, his lowest game was 19.64 points. Yeah. Everything else was above that. I like if he's available, man, I'm telling you, you should pick him up.
Hey, I don't know, man. Frantic World, what's up? Punker is not wanted anywhere. Probably not. I mean,
several people from Impact have made public declarations that he would be welcome there. So Punk is wanted somewhere. But the question is,
how much would he take?
See, that's the whole point. Is Punk truly doing this for the love of professional wrestling, or is he doing it because of the money? If he's truly doing it because of the love of professional wrestling and he wants to get the goodwill back under his name, he would go and work Impact for a year.
Yes,
yeah, because I think if he went to Impact for a year and kept his nose clean, I think WWE would come calling afterwards. I truly do. I just think the way he exited AEW, they're just like, it ain't worth the hassle right now.
Well, the only thing, though, that you got to keep in mind, TKO is Endeavor, which Dana White is a part of, and I'm sure Dana White doesn't have kind words for CM Punk. So, and he's got a lot of pull, I would assume, within TKO. I would assume Dana White's got some pull. So, speaking of Duval, yeah, Trevor Lawrence is also the quarterback on my big money league team that is going to be costing me 2 cases of beer.
He's questionable for this Thursday.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a short turnaround.
Yeah, it's a short turnaround game. He might not even play.
Hopefully the Cowboys don't suck, because on paper, before the Cowboys just got boat raced last week, this would have been a good-looking game. Who do the
Jags play on Thursday?
Good question. I got it right here.
I'm looking right now.
Let's see who gets there first, I guess.
The Saints. They play the Saints Thursday.
We got there at the same time. How about that? But yeah. Raiders quarterback playing this weekend. Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but yeah, Jimmy's better than what they thought. Chargers, yeah. I mean, I have her and I'm in a dynasty keeper league with a buddy of mine, and we're down 25, and we've got Lamb and Herbert. So hypothetically, we should be doing pretty good there. No love for Love. Well, he's like
I think Love's going to get plenty of love this season. I'm happy with his numbers. I'm happy I was able to snipe him up, and I think he's going to have a good rest of the year. But I mean, I'm still think I'm riding with Stroud overall. But like having Love as an option on my bench, I'm pretty freaking happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I
think I will play them back and forth based on who they're playing that given week.
Richardson's about droppable now because
Richardson. I hear he's having surgery.
Well,
as soon as I heard he was having surgery, I dropped him.
He's contemplating it. So, it's early. Yeah, it's early, but I'm like, already at the. I mean, I could go on a winning streak if Trevor Lawrence pulls his head out of his ass. But my starting running backs in that big money league this week. Okay, so I had J.K. Dobbins, week 1.
Oh.
Nick Chubb, week 2.
Oh.
Week 5, Khalil Herbert. 3 guys go down in my running backs. My starting running backs this week were Justice Hill of Baltimore and Keontae Ingram of Arizona.
Good grief.
My only other option to start was Latavius Murray, who apparently got the start for Buffalo last night, but he didn't do shit anyway, so it didn't really matter.
I started DeAndre Swift and Mostert yesterday. And they did very well for me, but I should have played Derrick Henry in the flex spot. But I thought the Ravens defense was going to shut him down. And honestly, besides the third quarter, they did. They shut him down for the first half and the fourth quarter. It's just he had that one huge 65-yard run in the third, and then he followed it up with a touchdown after that. And that's where all his points came from. The rest of the game, he was shit.
I don't know where he's pulling this out of his ass, because Mostert has not been that good in his career, but also he's just pulling this out of his ass.
Mostert's been incredible this season.
Yeah. Where's Jack Perry? I'm just assuming he's probably on a break.
I can't remember where I heard this, so don't quote me, but I heard that his suspension is on, but they're not. Yeah, he did get. They're not rushing. They're not rushing to bring him back to TV right now.
That's right, because they suspended him and Punk.
Yeah, he was indefinitely suspended after the fight with Punk. But from my understanding, the suspension's done, but they're not in a rush to bring him back to TV. I think their mindset is the longer he's away, the less people will associate, his stuff with Punk when he comes back.
Before we get to Steven Chambers' comment here, thank you to everybody. We got a lot of people on tonight live. Thank you for everybody joining us. We do want to remind you. You have 2 weeks left to enter. Right here it is. Win tickets to Full Gear. Full Gear,
brother.
Gonna be main event. Yeah, I was just doing the old BTE gimmick there. Win 2 tickets to Full Gear Saturday, November 18th at the Kia Forum in LA night. Yeah. You're going to see the main event of Jay White and MJF. It might be a title change. I'm not ruling that out yet. That might be where I'm leaning at this point. But go to Rick Ucchino's pinned tweet at Rick, RICK, Ucchino, UCCHINO. And there will be details there. You got to retweet that tweet and subscribe to Believe in Pro Wrestling, and you just may get to go to Full Gear. Steven Chambers in the chat,
and that's tracking to be a sold out pay-per-view too. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a hard ticket to get. Why not get in for free?
Yeah, exactly. Steven Chambers, NWA getting TV deals. Billy Corgan on record saying that it's a top 20 network. Paramount is what everybody's thinking.
I will believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's the top 20 network. If it's anything, I was talking to my boss at WrestleZone about this, and he's speculating that it's going to be a deal similar to what we saw Ring of Honor when they were on Sinclair, and what Women of Wrestling has now, where they're on syndicated time slots on CW at different time points all throughout the United States. That's what he thinks it's going to be, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's something along those lines. I can't buy into the fact that he claims they've signed 2 television deals.
Yeah.
And that one of them is with the top 20 network.
Because
I'm just not buying it, man.
Somebody listed out the top 20 networks, and it was kind of funny. Home and Garden TV's in there, and there are people in the chat it's gonna be on Home and Garden. Yeah. Paramount seems like the most likely. If he's telling the truth, Paramount's probably the most likely of the deal. MK saying Jack Perry returns at Full Gear. What if he aligns with his maybe Christian becomes his daddy too? Nick, what happened with Nick Wayne? Maybe Christian, Jack Perry aligns with Christian. Maybe. Santos, what's up? Thanks for joining us, Santo. Stoked for Raw. It is the season premiere, and the season premiere of SmackDown did deliver. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And of course, there's a title match tonight: Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler. There we go. Let's go ahead and get into the main story of the evening, which is this weirdly mustached man.
What do you mean, pal?
Well, you're out, pal. According to a report, it seems like Ari Emanuel of TKO is behind getting Vince out of creative and giving full control to Triple H. It sounds like Triple H has been running creative. And Dave Meltzer explained that he believes that they're just this is a marginalization of Vince McMahon, and that is coming straight from Ari himself. Quote, he's out of creative. I mean, this is a big story because Ari Emanuel, when they were on the verge of closing the deal, and they actually had closed the deal in April, they went on did media rounds, and it was like Vince will be in charge of the company. And if Vince and Ari have a disagreement, or if me and Vince have a disagreement, it goes the way Vince wants because Vince is the guy. And then the deal went through, and it really
surprise, motherfucker.
About a month ago. So it's like a month ago it went through, and Vince is out of creative because of Ari Emanuel. And so I think this is a really interesting thing because it's the first time Vince is now in a position that his father was in 1984, when his father had run the company for years and years and years, and he was just an employee of Vince Jr. Although he hates the term Vince Jr., Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And now Vincent Kennedy McMahon was the guy making all the decisions, and now, in fact, he is overruled. Which
I love it. I love it.
I think the big thing that came out of this was the fact that he was being blamed for the stock price dropping, and I think that's probably what with the TKO coming up.
Ari muscled him out of creative well before he made that statement.
Yeah,
and I think this was the plan all along. I truly, Ari told Vince everything that he wanted to hear, and Ari, Triple H, and Nick Khan were all in on this prior, and they're like, yeah, when this merger goes down, Vince isn't going to have any say in creative anymore because that's not his department. You got to focus on your own department. You don't focus on creative. That's not your department anymore. And it's shined through the WWE product in the last few weeks. You can tell how much better and cohesive the WWE product is now.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon doesn't get to touch it anymore. It's a
like
beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood because Vince is not our neighbor. And you could tell, I mean, it was such a shit show, the Raw after Mania last year. Now, maybe they'll get back to some. It's been a long time since the Raw after Mania has been something to talk about. And so hopefully this year, now that Vince is completely out of it, Triple H in the fold, hopefully now they kind of get back into it. Because seriously, you had the season premiere of SmackDown, and I don't know about you, but I thought it was a very good show, and a lot of newsworthy things came out of it. We'll get into it a little more detail.
They were setting the stage. SmackDown season premiere was setting the stage for the future, the next 6 to 8 months of that company.
Yeah,
and I love that because unlike Vince nowadays, where Vince used to plan well far ahead, like back in the day, he hasn't done that in decades. Now Triple H is going to plan, months out in advance, and you're going to be able to see it play out through the course of the television product. And that is a huge win for WWE and wrestling fans everywhere who just want their WWE product to not insult their intelligence and just make logical sense. And I truly believe, it's not going to be perfect, but I think we're going to see a much better overall product now that Vince is hands off than we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think the ratings have been showing that too. At least on Fridays and Tuesdays, they've been steadily increasing. And they
got monster competition on Mondays.
Yeah, that's the issue. And a lot of rumors saying that Raw will be moving out of Monday with the new deal, possibly.
They said that Ari said that they're open to it. I don't see it happening. I don't see Raw moving off Mondays, because if they move off Monday, where are they going? Like Tuesday? Okay, that's fine. Where do you put NXT?
Wednesday.
So,
and stack it every week.
That would be fucking annoying as shit. I don't want that. I don't want
that.
God, I can see it happening.
This is interesting.
I
wonder if they're setting the stage for a Pierce and Aldis match because, of course, both of them
former
NWA
I could
champions.
absolutely see Pierce facing Aldis, but in a loser leaves WWE match, that's not happening.
Dude, I loved that the crowd popped when Triple H put Pierce over because Pierce has done a great job as an authority figure. That hasn't really been an official GM thing since God knows when, but
since the Baron Corbin fiasco.
Yeah, and it's so, it's pretty cool to see the crowd give Pierce an ovation, recognizing the work he's done. And Pierce and Aldis, it's gonna be friendly at first, but they both were in the they both are NWA champions.
Look, as I said on social media Friday night, the only qualification now to be a general manager in WWE is you must have previous experience as the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion.
Well, so it's confirmed.
I nominate R-Truth as the general manager of NXT.
The next general manager of NXT is Tyrus.
I've seen a lot of people say Tyrus. I'd much rather have R-Truth. Thank you very much.
I'd much rather have EC3.
Well, EC3 is a little busy being the champion right now.
I know.
And R-Truth is actually under employment with the company. I think R-Truth as the NXT general manager would be great. Hysterical.
Oh, it'd be great.
Absolutely hysterical.
No, Mark Cho. We do not need any brand warfare shit at Survivor Series.
We're getting war games, so why we don't need brand warfare when we're getting war games. War games greater than brand warfare.
Yeah, War Games is going to be like Judgment Day against somebody or Bloodline against somebody.
Well, it seemed like it was going to be Judgment Day against Cody, Jay, Sammy, and Kevin. But now with Kevin on SmackDown, I'm not 100% sure that that's the direction.
Jay and Cody can go on SmackDown now, so it's still possible while they still have the tag titles.
Yeah, but Judgment Day can't go to SmackDown. I mean, unless I guess Judgment Day could win the tag titles back tonight.
I don't know. They seem to throw that brand stuff out the window a lot of times.
I would be very annoyed if they won the tag titles back tonight.
I have a feeling though. That Dom was on SmackDown last Friday,
which made absolutely no sense whatsoever. See, those are the type of logic loopholes that I want closed and fixed. In the future with Triple H running things, you got to be if you're gonna do stuff like that, you need to make it make sense.
I think the main reason Dom was on SmackDown was for the casual fan that does not know who Nick Aldis was could pop Nick Aldis when he talks shit about Dom.
But here's the problem, dude. That was the weakest introduction for a new character on WWE television I've ever seen.
There's no fanfare at all.
Triple H is like Nick Aldis. And no music, no Tron. He somehow comes from the side of the commentators table, and it's just like, wow, really? That's how you introduce this new character?
He was in the front row. He had a ticket. He was in the front row.
He off the rail. Guess I'm going to work. Later,
Thursday
Mickey.
Night Raw. That'd be interesting if there was on Thursday. You still face the NFL.
Yeah, but but that's a different animal when it's on Amazon.
May I have your attention, please? Boy, that creative
that was
era
shits.
Went over like a lead balloon.
Shits.
It wasn't quite crickets. He did get a little bit of an ovation. I
think he would have gotten a better ovation if they would have introduced him properly.
They would have built him up.
It was very weird. His introduction was very, very weird.
I would say build him up, but they don't have access to a majority of his biggest moments, which were in NWA and Impact. So I could see why they didn't quite build him up because they don't really have a video package to show all of that.
Dude, at least give him entrance music and let him come down the aisle.
Oh.
I don't think I'm asking for much. Like the way he was introduced was very, meh.
MK brand split does not matter, Matt.
We've known that. And doing the draft every year. How about that?
Yeah. The draft has never been good TV in my opinion either.
I honestly, if USA and NBC Universal land the deal to keep Raw in NXT, I bet you they do end the draft. Because if all the shows are on the same network again, There's no really need for split rosters.
No. So I don't have a graphic for this, but since I just realized it was this weekend, but Impact Bound for Glory this weekend. As Matt said, Alex Shelley, Josh Alexander for the world title. Will Ospreay is going to be in there. Mike Bailey. Geez, that match won't suck, will it?
Dream match, brother. That's a dream match.
Kenta and Saban. Is Kenta signed?
No, it's a New Japan partnership thing.
Okay. So you think Saban retains then?
Yeah. Saban will retain.
I don't see Trinity giving up the title, do you?
Neither do I. Because Mickey's not under an Impact deal. She works there, per date. And with Nick doing things in WWE now, I would not be surprised if they try to lure her back in over there.
Exactly. The Rascals, how long have they been champions? I don't think it'd be time for them to.
A few months.
Since they recently got back together with Wentz coming back. They're facing the Bullet Club.
They got Myron Reed in there now too. He's going to be competing with the Rascals on the Impact tapings following Bound for Glory. So I'm assuming he'll probably get involved in that match and make sure that they retain. So,
God, who would have thought Wesley would have been the most successful guy out of that group? You thought it'd be Trey Miguel immediately, like being like either Impact World Champion or going to WWE or something like that. And it turns out Wesley is like the guy. It's pretty crazy, but I mean, well deserved too. Wesley's been doing a hell of a job at NXT. I love this tag team, MK Ultra, Killer Kelly and Masha taking on Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz for the knockout tag titles. I don't know.
So I don't see them dropping this. That's a really weird makeshift team. Yeah. Deonna and Tasha,
who's heel and face in this?
The Masha and Killer Kelly are the.
So Tasha's a baby.
I would say they're baby faces. No, I think Killer Kelly and Masha are the baby faces because I can't ever imagine Tasha Steelz being a baby face.
And Deanna's always like teetering. Monsters Ball match. Oh geez, these guys. Moose, PCO, Rhino, and Macklin. That'll be fun. And then a 20-person intergender Collier shot gauntlet winner gets a trophy and can and a contract they can invoke anytime within a year for a championship match of their choosing. So basically, money in the bank in the form of a trophy.
Yeah.
So there you go. So of course,
CM Punk's gonna win that.
There you go. There you go.
Could you imagine? The internet would explode if Punk came out last and won that thing.
I wonder if Jordan Grace wins it and challenges for the world title.
I don't know if I want to see that.
The season premiere of SmackDown happened this Friday. A lot of newsworthy items came out of it. Of course, what we've already talked about, Nick Aldis. What are your thoughts on KO going to the Blue Show?
For storyline purposes, I understand it because this will once again cause friction between Jay, Kevin, and Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Jay wasn't moved to Raw, this wouldn't have happened to begin with. But I think like breaking up Sammy and Kevin this soon.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, it's a great way to keep them apart without turning one heel on a story we've seen so many times already. So I think it's the best way to split them up without turning them heel, in my opinion. Steven Chambers in the chat says Ospreay and Speedball great match. Yeah, that's gonna be insane. They should do a draft or some trades now that we have set GMs. I agree, Mark Joe. It's just the draft shows have been, they need to be better somehow, and there's just the way they do things. I think they could do a better job of making it a more interesting show. Steven agrees with the Rascals retaining. Reed going to be on ROH too. That's what happens sometimes when you do some free agency stuff.
Reed was one of Christian Cage's security guards on Collision Saturday night.
Mustafa Ali winning the Battle Royal. Do you see him showing up at Impact?
I don't think his deal's up yet. I think his non-compete's still going.
I think AEW is the money to put on him going there.
I still think Ali, Benjamin, and Ziggler all end up in AEW.
DIY getting the tag titles. I don't think they're going to be. I wonder if Judgment Day gets them back sometime and DIY beats Judgment Day for him. Unless DIY's heel, which I don't see that happening.
I mean, I wouldn't hate. I would love a DIY title run, but I don't want it right now.
Oh, Punk said he has a non-compete. I didn't think Punk had a non-compete.
As far as I understand, when you're terminated with cause, there is no non-compete. So,
Ozzy,
I don't see that being accurate.
When will we get a Jaden Flair match? Yeah, that's obviously getting teased.
Months away.
With that backstage.
Yeah. Reports are still saying Jade's playing for Raw, so it's not. They're not even going to be on the same brand anyway.
No, she's been on all three brands basically. Well, no, she
has not been seen on Raw yet.
So I'm assuming about an hour from now.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm assuming we'll see her tonight, but as of this moment, as of 7:42 Eastern PM on Monday, October 16th, Jade Cargill has yet to appear on Monday Night Raw.
What'd you think of LA Knight's first interaction with Roman Reigns? I thought he did a pretty good job. I love the camera shot. They showed the glasses. You can see Roman's reflection in the glasses. I thought that was a pretty cool shot. I thought LA Knight did pretty good there. What did you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun, and I found it to be hilarious that Busted Open wasted over an hour of their show this morning bitching about John Cena's facial reactions in the background.
Because he's a fanboy of LA
I'm like,
Knight.
do you guys really have nothing else better to talk about? Like, it was a great segment. Do we really need to be focused on what John Cena was doing in the background? Let's talk about something else. Fucking idiots.
Is LA Knight the guy, or do you think they're keeping this on?
No, he's not the guy. LA Knight's going to face Roman at Crown Jewel. He's going to lose, and Cody. I still think we're getting Cody and Roman at Mania 40. That's going to be Cody's time.
So you don't think they're keeping it on him to pass Hogan?
No, I do not.
Okay. Pretty Deadly.
I think they would have had Vince still had a say in creative.
Yeah.
I think with Triple H firmly, strapped in with the creative regime right now, I think that face off between Roman and Cody on SmackDown Friday told you what their end game plan was.
That was smart to do that too. Yep. I think that got people talking.
Agreed.
And then obviously Crown Jewel, yeah. LA Knight's gonna main event a pay-per-view, which is insane to think. Like Triple H,
there's gonna be a point in the match where you're gonna believe he's got a chance to win, but then Solo Sikoa is gonna get involved, and he's going to lose. I mean, that's just it's the Roman Reigns formula at this point. Just go in expecting that, and you won't be disappointed.
It's so stupid. At this point, you're probably going to pencil in Logan Paul and Ray at Crown Jewel 2 at this point, maybe. What with them talking?
Yeah, Logan Paul and Ray is going to happen at Crown Jewel. Of course, Logan Paul wants the Saudi payday.
Oh, Fightful Select 2 days ago, talking about the official signing of Nick Aldis. He joined the company this summer as a producer, as we mentioned in the show months ago. Up until this week, it was a trial basis, but confirmed he signed on with WWE in an official capacity, no longer a free agent. He was not listed on the SmackDown producer reports. Says if he'll continue, they'll get a clearer picture if he's going to continue doing that role in the coming weeks. Obviously, he is now the GM of SmackDown, with Adam Pearce, the official GM of Monday Night Raw. And those backstage have said Aldis has been easy to work with and willing to make the most of his WWE opportunity and eager to work within whatever role he's given. I think it's good to see him in there. We'll see what happens. I could see Knight getting a U.S. title pick in the future. Yeah,
I could absolutely see him grabbing an IC or a U.S. title following the Crown Jewel. I could easily see him.
Yeah.
I could easily see him holding a championship at WrestleMania. Easily.
Savit, thanks for joining us, man. Welcome. Let's move on to the next item at hand. These two logos were going head to head on Tuesday night. The Tuesday Night Wars, of course. WWE stacking the deck, very much stacking the deck with a bunch of guys that had never even been in NXT. And of course, Undertaker, John Cena, Paul Heyman,
Cody Rhodes,
LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, on and on. They defeated AEW by about 300,000 viewers or something like that. Demo was kind of close, but still
the demo was insanely close. And let's be realistic. Wrestling fans harp over the viewership number, which is something that cable networks and advertisers don't give two shits about. They care about the demo. And at the end of the day, as much as WWE stacked that deck, they only beat AEW by a 0.04 demo when AEW switched nights.
That tells you the median age was probably 15 to 20 years older than what AEW had brought in on Tuesday. Plus, AEW has historically not performed well on a night that they're not on Wednesday.
Agreed. But that's for any television show.
Yeah.
The cable statistics show, if you take any television show,
SmackDown on FS1,
that's consistently on. No, not even that's still the same night. But if you move a show that's typically, let's say it's typically a show that's typically on Thursdays, and you move it to Monday, for a week, the cable statistics say you're automatically should expect a 20% drop in viewership and demo because of the change nights, because people are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So honestly, for everything that NXT threw at AEW on Tuesday night, there's nothing that AEW should be ashamed of. And I know for a fact, I've spoken to people within Warner Brothers Discovery who were very happy with the number that they did on Tuesday. And that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
On top of that, granted, there were two title matches. They didn't load. It was a regular Dynamite. They didn't load. It really was.
Shit.
The only thing they loaded was the debut of Adam Copeland in the ring.
The only thing AEW tried to do is they just tried to trump WWE once they went that 30 minutes commercial free.
Yeah.
They outed it. They did 45 minutes commercial free, and then they added in the buy-in with Kingston and Suzuki.
Yeah.
But look, to me, it was just a great episode of Dynamite. They didn't Mercedes Moné is going to be there. The return of Adam Cole or Jamie Hayter or anything they didn't do any of that.
No.
And I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was a great show. I thought NXT was a fun show. I think the wrestling fans won at the end of the day. I can't imagine you being an NXT fan or an AEW fan or a fan of both and watching either of those shows and going, man, that show sucked. I just can't. They were both good. They were both good.
Yeah. So going to NXT first, Cody Rhodes' big announcements were
none of them were big.
No, it was him. He was the general manager for the night. The Dusty Cup is coming back, and that was basically it.
The tournament.
Men's breakout, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Asuka, Roxanne Perez. They only got 8 minutes. I mean, geez, could give them a little more. The pub rules match was fun, but those are always pretty fun with the Brawling Brutes. And John Cena comes out and has a thing with Braun Breaker, and Dragunov and Mysterio. It was all right. And then they got the breakout turn.
Dominic get his ass beat.
True.
Dragunov beat the shit out of him.
Lola Vice, no surprise, moving on in the breakout tournament. Probably going to win it.
I think she's winning the whole thing.
Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr. I thought that was a great promo he cut, though. I liked it.
I do not like the Hollywood Hogan beard.
Right, with the blonde hair.
Now, yeah, it's
so funny how he's denouncing his dad.
To me.
It's so funny how he's denouncing his dad, but he's looking just like him. Maybe that's probably the irony kind of that he's going with on that.
The only thing I didn't like about his I did like literally the jet black Hollywood Hogan Nitro
Macho
beard.
Man.
I was very thrown off by that. I didn't like that.
He's too young for Just for Men. And Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, of course, the big news, Undertaker coming out, choke slamming Breaker and giving the shine to Hayes. Hayes is going to have a rocket strapped up his ass when he gets to the main roster. It's always a good, entertaining show. But again, this is a one-off. This is a desperation that they pop the rating with, and
they barely did better than they did the week before.
Yeah,
like they did like 850K the week before.
they didn't even need to stack the deck. I mean, they've been raising the rating with Becky Lynch there alone. So
Becky and the Judgment Day have single-handedly helped with that.
And then going over to the Dynamite side, got Strickland and Danielson was so good.
Love that match, dude.
Oh my God. Jericho getting written off because, I'm going to go see him a week from Friday. So that's why he's getting written off by Powerhouse Hobbs, because Fozzie's going on tour. So I get to see them finally after.
I don't think he'll be gone that long.
No, but after COVID delays and cancellations, it's good to see they got booked. Different venue.
Foz is a great show. You're really going to enjoy it. I've seen him live twice now, I think, and just very fun, entertaining shows.
What'd you think about switching the international title back onto Orange Cassidy?
Thank God. Yeah. He should have never dropped it to begin with. I stand firm in that, and they're teasing an evolution in Orange Cassidy's character.
What'd you think about
people
Sheeta
were paying
winning?
Attention. Cassidy was so focused on the title following the match, he wasn't even trying to celebrate with his friends.
Yeah.
And it's very unlike Orange Cassidy. They're teasing this evolution in Orange's character that I think is going to be really cool to watch over the next couple of months.
What do you think about Sheeta beating Saraya for the title?
That was more shocking, but I don't hate it. I didn't think Sheeta deserved such a short second reign with the title anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully this third reign will be a lot bigger. And clearly they wanted to have that moment for Saraya at Wembley, and I totally get it, and it made sense. Yeah. But Sheeta, let Sheeta be the centerpiece of that division, and let her run shit, because she's awesome, man.
Is Christian the best heel in pro wrestling right now?
Yes, without a doubt.
Adam Copeland's debut in AEW, one-sided for a while before Adam making the big comeback. A lot of shenanigans in that match too.
Best match in Luchasaurus's career.
Yeah, that was a good match. That was a very good match. Let's fly through some headlines.
Think it's close.
Let's fly through some headlines real quick. Grizzled Young Veterans made a surprise debut after they became free agents at DPW, taking on the workhorsemen of JD Drake and Anthony Henry. And
shout out to Deadlock Pro Wrestling, because honestly, they are one of the fastest rising independent promotions in the United States right now. And the whole Adam Cole was going to work there next month.
Mm-hmm.
Before the whole ankle injury thing, he was scheduled to face Chris Danger in Danger's first ever match. So
it has been confirmed they have trademarked Grizzled Young Veterans, and
as they should.
Yep, and so I would obviously love to see them in AEW, because you got such a stacked tag division. There's so many great teams to pair them up against. Impact probably wouldn't hurt either, but I don't know where they go from here. They could just do the indies for a while, but
I think they can go wherever they want. Yeah. Honestly, they're a good enough tag team that they can go wherever they want.
And there was a recent, this was posted yesterday on Fightful Select, AEW Fight Forever update. AEW Fight Forever, they said, was released with a moderate fanfare, decent reviews, and some sales success. But there's been questions from Fightful's audience about the future of the game. Once upon a time, planned to be a single release with constant updates. AEW has been stepping off the gas pedal a bit, to those that they spoke to, said the game has not been much of a topic of conversation after the first month or so, but there was a heavy internal push to promote the game, especially at talent meetings immediately following release. However, it doesn't appear the work is done on the game. Fightful was told over the last few weeks there have been scans done with new talent and plans to add them to the game. So.
Yeah. So I've been telling people for months. I've been telling everybody this for months. No one wants to listen. The game's not done. Clearly, the communication on THQ Nordic and Yuke's side could be a hell of a lot better, and they could be engaging this community a hell of a lot better than they're doing. But the game's not done. They still have plans for the game. So chill out with that. The game ain't dead.
Yeah. And Monday Night Raw, of course, coming up here in just a little while. And literally just minutes ago, literally just now, Fightful Select has posted their updates for the show. We're going to get a promo from Sami Zayn. Ricochet Nakamura, Falls Count Anywhere, Natalya against Piper Niven. We're going to get a Seth Rollins promo. We're going to get a Johnny Gargano match against Ludwig Kaiser. That's going to be a good one. Ripley and Shayna Baszler for the title. Gunther and Bronson for the Intercontinental title. And the tag titles, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against the Judgment Day. So, of course, this is their season premiere Raw, so they're stacking it with 3 title matches. Chad Gable versus Trick Williams in a main event taping match. Akira Tozawa taking on Nathan Frazier. Nick Aldis is listed as a producer on main event. And some spoilers, nothing really much to spoil, except the main event segment is going to be very long.
I like that they're stacking all 3 title matches back to back to back in the third hour. I think that's very smart. What's the Monday night game tonight? Who's playing?
Chargers and Cowboys.
See, if that's a blowout, which it could very well be, that's a very smart move to stack those title matches up in the third hour. Hope to get the people to tune out and tune in for those instead.
Yeah, be interesting to see. It says the main event segment is scheduled for 3 segments. I'm assuming that's going to be the tag title match. Because it separately says the Intercontinental match is 2 segments. Unless it could be. I don't think Ripley and Baszler would main event that Raw, would they?
No, dude. Sean always posts those things in order.
Those are in order.
Listed is the order of the show.
Oh, okay. Well, that means the order of the show is the last 3. All title matches are at the end of the show.
I just said that.
I know, that's weird.
No, it's good. It's a smart strategy to get people to tune out of Monday Night Football if the game's a blowout.
Why don't you do one though before the football game starts?
So you want to kick off with the title match?
Yeah.
And the football game kicks off at 8:15. None of those matches are going to be done in that time. The Raw loves to do the talkie segments at the beginning of their shows.
Well, speaking of talkie, we're done talking. It's time for Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football. Don't forget to go to @Rick to enter yourself in to win 2 tickets to Full Gear. That closes winners get drawn on November 1st. And then, so what you got to do is retweet Rick's pinned tweet and then subscribe to Believe in Pro Wrestling. Thanks to everybody that joined in the chat. Always enjoy the chat.
Sorry we didn't get to, I know we didn't get to some of your guys' stuff tonight, and I really apologize for that.
Yeah, tail end of it, we got to kind of get through stuff. So,
but yeah, I promise we'll try to get to the chat more next week. You guys are always awesome, and we appreciate you guys being here, each and every Monday night.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard, brought to you by Bet Online. Have yourselves a great week.